Sitting at home,
looking for video games.
guess you could call us Video Bros.
Wait, what the hell are you doing?
My fucking sheets are always falling off my bed, so I was like trying to grip it back on there. I really want to just staple it to my bed. Hey,
Alright guys, welcome back to Video Bros.
And this is a new series which we've been needing to start for over 2 years now.
Okay, so first off, as you can see, we're playing...
Because I think Metroid Prime 1 was around like almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, so
sometime early on in our channel.
we're playing Metroid Prime 2 on Dolphin Emulator. Now, before we get into this game a little bit, if you guys don't know what Dolphin Emulator is, basically it allows you to emulate almost 100%. It's not perfect, but I guess like around 80 to 90% of emulation percentage. It can emulate basically any game you want.
For GameCube and Wii.
GameCube and Wii. And you can also run the homebrew. You can run any virtual console game. You can play any fucking database malware crap.
I say data, but whatever. Each to their own.
Keep it at 100 because we'll keep it.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Because I can't really hear the game much. Stereo, surround, mono.
It doesn't matter. It's just put a stereo.
That's what
Now we are running on Dolphin Emulator 4.02, and we are not running at 5.0 or the latest version of 5.0, which it gets updated every fucking day.
So I'm just to start.
Yeah, you can start it because we had problems trying to install the 5.0, and this runs Dolphin 4.02. Yeah, you can read this first.
8th mission. Whatever. Contract agreement. Locate Federation troopers and render assistance. People, if you want to go back and read that says, just go back and pause the video to read it. I have to do that a lot sometimes. Last transmission received from a rogue planet located in the Dasha region called Aether. Not to be confused with Ike from Fire Emblem. Uploading last known coordinates now. With his Aether mover, Great Aether.
So,
Loading data.
as I was saying,
Sorry.
we are running 4.02, and 4.02 runs this game pretty well. And it's the one that's just below 5.0, which is the most stable version. So this is running pretty well. The only thing you have to worry about with Dolphin Emulator is that you have to have a really good PC to run it at high graphics.
And mine's built specifically for gaming, so here you go.
As you can see, we have
That's Aether.
Yeah, we have it set to run at 60 frames per second, and if you play it normally at 60 frames per second on this computer, it does run at 50 frames, at 60 frames, I mean. But since we have it recording in OBS, we are dipping between at least between 40 and 50. Or 50, yeah, 40, between 40 and 50 FPS. So it's better than 30 frames that you would get on a GameCube, because no console back then was able to shoot at a true 60 frames.
Keep in mind, this game came out 13 years ago. It's from 2004.
Now, when we start this, I'm just going to show you what you can do with Dolphin Emulator really quick, and like how we can change the graphics and get them to look their best.
And as I usually do for you guys, people, if you don't really care about that, I'll just put in text saying when to skip ahead. Yes, because it's only going to be it's only going to be for 2 seconds. I'm just going to show, like, you can already see it, like, fucking up in the background right there. Of a time skip of what to skip ahead to.
Now, this right here is running, I don't remember exactly what it's running at, but I will show you in a minute, because it's only going to take, like, 2 seconds to show you before and after of what this can do. So, this is with no anti-aliasing, no anti-scopic filtering of what kind. And
there's our favorite bounty hunter from space.
Alright, so you see how this is right now.
Yeah.
The background's really fucking up too bad.
I didn't really notice it too
Hey,
much.
now hold on a second. Just look at that web pattern for a second. Now stop. Now I'm just gonna open up Dolphin Emulator, the program itself. You're gonna see it for a quick second. I'm gonna go get the graphics, and as you can see, we have it set to native.
3 times native.
3 times native, which is 920 by
1920 by 1584.
Yes, that's not a true 1080p, but it's running a little bit less than 1080p. But what you can do with this is, like, for instance, you can go to native, and you can see that, which looks pretty fucking terrible.
Shitty. It looks so shitty. It looks like I'm playing it on the GameCube.
But now, since you got that going on, it's running at a better frame. But now we have it at native 3.
That's very clear. I like that.
And this is with no anti-scopping filtering. We have the widescreen hack on, which gives you can either play it at normal, or you can play it at the widescreen, which we have. So you see,
that's not fucking up with OBS.
Huh?
That's not fucking up with OBS.
I hope not. Let's just check it really quick. No, we're fine.
Okay, good.
So we'll go back and get over to Dolphin. Get the fuck out of here, because I don't know you don't want to see this. Okay, so basically, really quick. And then the hacks, we have it set to RAM. This is for Metroid Prime 2. I mean, you need this, whatever I have here. This is the way it's going to run the fastest. And if you have a better computer than we have, it can run better with certain settings. But we have it set to RAM, because if you don't have it set to RAM, you cannot...
You can't use your scan visor, or use any of your visors, really.
And then, external frame buffer, you do not want to change the setting, because I didn't change it per se, but if you change it to, like... If you click disable, it'll run it at virtual and it'll run it at regular resolution, and you can't change it back and forth to high resolution and whatnot.
Click it real quick just to show people. It looks like the game's having a fucking seizure.
And I don't want that. And when I clicked on real over here, as you can see, it fucked it up completely. And it
crashed.
Yeah, so it depends on the actual version of Dolphin you have, plus the computer you have, and what you have inside the computer, like the graphic cards and the CPU you have and all that. It all depends. And I can't give you a whole detailed version on what works best and what not, because it runs, there's so many different possibilities you can do. And just for this, you have all this. You want to keep it all the same. These are all debugging crap.
Just keep them all unchecked.
Yeah, they're all debugging stuff. Like, you can enable wireframe, but you won't do anything to the game, but you can go like this and just play the game that way.
That looks really cool, but it looks like looks like something you would see in a virtual reality helmet or something.
You know what you're watching now? You know what you're playing?
What?
You're playing wireframe, Samus. Instead of wireframe Mac.
Pretty much.
And then you can have the statistics running if you want, or whatever. And if you were able to, we haven't done it here, but if you're able to, you can get Sweet Effects to run here. I'm not going to go into that, though, but apparently Sweet Effects allows you to change certain filters and whatnot. So, like, for instance, we could do this, though. You know what we could do? No, wait, is it on here? I don't know why I don't have it. Oh, it's not on this one. Alright, I guess this version doesn't have the filters for some reason. So you can make it, or you can't do 3D either, I guess? Okay. I'm leaving it alone. But, if you want, we can keep it to hide the mouse cursor, but we don't want that because we're going to have to go back and do things in case the resolution or the frame rate drops anyway.
That way you can see the mouse.
Yeah. So, we're going to let you can skip to this if you want. If not, you can watch it.
I'll put in text when I edit to let you know what time you can skip up to.
Yeah, but for now, and also we have it set, like, for the aspect ratio, auto would put it to 4, would be 4:3, which is
that's like equivalent to playing it on a GameCube.
That, yes, or that's a CTR. But if you have it on a Wii, you can force it to 16:9, which we're not doing. We want the full screen effect, so we're going to get stretched to window. And then we have, of course, what I had, the widescreen thing, like I said. So you see more of the game. And this works with most all games. And also, just so you know, depending on the game that you play, all these settings might be changed or whatnot, because some games are more graphical than others. Some games...
They might work differently. They might crash the game, depending on what you do.
Yeah, so this is what we have for Metroid Prime 2.
All depends on the
game.
game.
If we play any other GameCube games and we get them to work the right way, we'll show you the settings as we start each session. But as for right now,
well, if we can get it to work, whenever the day comes we play Metroid Prime 3, I want to use it on Dolphin as well.
Yeah, we can do that. But we're going to change it to the Trilogy one.
I was going to ask you. It's the same thing because it came out on the Wii, so if you're playing it either standalone...
there's still differences.
If you're playing it standalone by itself and not on the Trilogy, or if you're playing on the Trilogy, you're still using Wii controls.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But if you do that, like, for instance, you can go here and go to the Wii Remote, and then you can do a hybrid Wii Remote, or you can, if you have Bluetooth in your computer, which a hybrid Wii Remote would be, like, you can set it to a controller, and then have simulated controls. or if you have a Bluetooth enabled in your computer, you can use a standard Wii remote and just sync it right like you do with the Wii.
Are we done showing this?
Yeah. So
I was just curious.
yeah. So basically, we're not going to ask you how to set up Dolphin, like how to install it. We're not going to tell you where to get the ROMs, because of course it's Nintendo's fucking greedy ass doesn't like. And emulation in general is just one of those things where you can't.
Wow, that was a major frame rate drop there.
Yeah. But guess what? We can lock it at 30 frames if you want to do that.
Why not?
I mean, I'd rather just keep it at that. We get the higher frame rates.
Yeah, just do it. Whatever.
All right.
I'll pause it for a sec.
No, I mean I can keep it that way. What I'm saying.
Keep it this way?
Yeah, just keep it that way. Damn, that looks fucking like it should be on a fucking like at least a PS4.
They wouldn't put a Nintendo game on a PS4 though.
Hey.
Move the arrow off the side though if you're not doing anything with it.
Oh yeah. Here.
Okay, now I can scan this.
You couldn't scan that before. Wait, how did you get in here then?
Unable to interface with door control system cannot translate alien text. To access door controls, you will need to update your translator file.
Okay, so before we started this, we actually tested it out just to make sure it all works and everything. But how did you get into that door then?
I didn't. You have to go down here.
Oh, that's. I was like wondering why you were scanning that, but you didn't
Nothing
do
was
anything.
working. No.
Okay. Also, just
this
quick.
looks pretty shitty, so I think you should just lock it at 30.
I mean, it'll still stay at 30 though, but whatever. Okay, I'll lock it at 30 really quick then.
Just to make it not like.
Actually, I can't lock it while we're playing the game. So when we ever get a save station, I'll do that. We can restart it and go right back to it.
Oh, because it involves restarting the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
this is what I couldn't do before, and then that's when you found out you need to have it on ROM.
Yeah. Also,
setting for that.
Also, if for any reason you start this game and you open the graphics panel up or the settings during the game, it might default back to certain things, and it might not work. So you have to set it back to what I showed you, and it'll make everything work. Now,
that's a pesticide that kills.
Like how I said before, Dolphin Emulation, as you know, is not perfect. 5.0 is a lot way better than any Dolphin version before it. And if we get that to work, I would love to play it because there's a lot of things that they've fixed. And if you want to go and look up on the Dolphin Emulator website and look at the trailer for it, go right ahead. They'll show you what's different and whatnot, and how much of a massive improvement it is.
A new research entries when download to your logbook. MKVI gate armored defense system. This gate is used with armored security locks, and locks must be neutralized for the gate to operate. The gate is durable, resistant to all but the most potent explosives. And then you press pause to continue reading it. Wait.
That was it.
This gate is used with armored security locks, which must be neutralized to operate. The gate is resistant to all but the most potent explosives. Okay, and then X, which we have as B, and then you can look at it. That's something that was not a Metroid Prime 1, is you can view things when you scan them to look at them closer. That's actually pretty cool. So, zoom in. Shit. Zoom in and more. That's
wait, hold on. Let me just check. I just want to see, like, zoom in all the way. I want to just see something. I mean, I'm going to only do this once. I just want to just test out Dolphin Emulator, like, the actual craziness of how good you can get the graphics. I just want to see how fucked up it gets. Like
just don't crash the game again.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I'm glad we weren't recording before.
Okay, it wasn't that much. Never mind.
Okay.
All right, we'll keep it that way. We're not going to mess with it anymore unless we actually have to, because the frame rate keeps dropping too much.
Yeah, we're going to get to a save station in a bit, people, and just bear with us.
Yeah, we're going to go really fast with this.
Ball. Bet you miss seeing her do that, don't you?
Yep.
Oh, dead splinters again.
Also, we cannot show it here, but
hit by an unusual amount of weapon fire, more than necessary to kill it. Marines are not prone to such overkill.
This game, and specifically this game only, it'll work with any other game if you know how to set it up. But there's a branch of Dolphin called Dolphin VR.
Oh, okay, here it is.
And Dolphin VR is what allows you to use the Oculus Rift in Dolphin Emulator. And if for anything, everyone has...
I like how the door looks moving.
Yeah. Everyone has said, though, that Dolphin VR works, like, not to say that it works perfectly, like, in emulation-wise and whatnot, but for this particular game, any Metroid Prime game that you play, or any Metroid game that was released for the Wii or whatever that used the visor just solely, except for Other M, because Other M's a piece of shit.
Other M wasn't even like how these games are. It was just like
it was 2D and then it went to 3D like this, and then it went back and forth.
It was like one of those older Metroid games, but it was just terrible.
It was like open world more, and then
it was a bit different.
But like this game, like if you ever experience VR, this is exactly what you experience. But since you have the the helmet on, the VR helmet, the camera itself is mapped to your helmet, so you're looking up, down, left, right. That's how you're doing it. So it's just like you're playing as Samus.
So, does that mean Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a VR game? Who knows?
Hey, if Nintendo can... listen, the Switch itself can barely do full 1080p as what it wants to for their games. And the only game that we've gotten from Nintendo directly from them is Breath of the Wild, and that game only runs at a 900p docked. Which
really is confusing.
And, put it this way...
I'm not disappointed, I'm just like... I can understand it's because it's a handheld, like, hybrid system.
Yeah, but like, they have it's a higher fidelity than what the Wii U had. So it's working out the best it can. But one thing though is that Nintendo has had the patent for it where you would have to take the screen or the tablet part and stick it into a VR helmet, like you could do with like like Samsung phones, and you can do virtual reality with that. But that's only 720p though, and that's as far as it will go. Now,
Worker Splinter, drone of the Splinter Hive, low threat target, generates weapons for use in studios.
Now, you know what I was thinking that would be really cool?
The Worker Splinter is bred for service, not combat. It spends its time collecting foodstuffs and raw material for the hive. A layer of mucus helps protect the creature from the toxins and chemicals as it often works with. They can generate a sturdy, pliable webbing useful in travel throughout the hive. So those ones are actually completely harmless. So
you know what I thought?
Unless you walk into them like an idiot.
That would be...
They're not going to try and kill you.
You know what I thought would be pretty cool that Nintendo would do?
What?
Or you could possibly do it. If you have the handyman skills for it.
What?
Get Dolphin VR. Right?
Yeah.
Get that set up, get it working. Take your Oculus Rift. Unscrew it enough, like take it apart enough. Take it apart enough so you get the casing off of it, right?
They look like ghosts, don't they?
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking? Like, get the casing off the front of the Oculus Rift helmet, and slap it in a fucking Samus cosplay helmet.
That would actually be really cool.
So you're like putting on the helmet and you're like, I'm Samus now, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then like if Dolphin Emulator could have like filters and whatnot where you can switch between different visors. Just like, oh, boom, boom, boom. You have all the visors.
Yeah. You know what'd be cool is if they made like a hacked kind of like how they do with Sonic games and they include elements from multiple games in the series. There's something wrong with the lock systems in this section. They failed twice, locking us out until someone came along to let us in. If it happens again while we're playing bait for those things, well, at least we'll go out fighting. Instead of hiding in the control area... Yeah, that was a lore log for that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy that's dead right there.
Whoa, that just went down to fucking 28 frames per second.
Because, what was I gonna say? You know how Sonic games, like, for instance, Christian Whitehead's Sonic 1, hold on. I don't like this plan. This hive is a small portion of a larger network. There may be dozens of hive systems like this across the planet, and they may all be linked. Destroying this one may buy us time, but it may also provoke the other hives into attacking. You know how in the Christian Whitehead port for like your phone or whatever, or Steam for Sonic 1, and how if you play it in no save mode, you can put on elements like having the lightning or flame shields from Sonic 3?
Yeah.
What they should do is have something kind of like that you can get on Dolphin, but combined weapons and visors from the different 3 Metroid games, so you have them all in one game. Like that you have like...
That would be Metroid... That should be Metroid Prime 4, but, you know...
It would be overkill, because you would have like 8 different weapons, 4 from this and 4 from Metroid Prime 1, and then the other weapons you get later on as you go out throughout 3. But you don't have 1 and 2. When you get a certain amount of beams, you can scroll through them by pressing the C stick in that direction.
Yeah.
This game does that like the first game. 3 doesn't do that. 3 just makes your weapon, like, upgraded, and you can still do all the things you did. You just have a different beam, kind of like how M2R you still had when you.
Oh, but you can only select one beam.
Yeah, it's just the whole one beam. That's it. Like you can't.
So if you get save you have the charred beam right now,
Yeah.
but then save you get the ice beam. That's only a weapon.
In this game, no, it does what Metroid.
No, I mean you're talking about Metroid Prime 3 though.
Yes, in Metroid Prime 3, yeah. I think in Metroid Prime 3, if I remember correctly, to my knowledge, you get ice missiles.
Dude, I still can't get over how fucking good this looks.
Yeah.
This is just all this is a fucking resolution bump.
Yeah. Except that didn't look good at all. That looks shitty.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Dude, don't be like one of the guys that was behind Mighty Number 9.
No, I mean, I'm not saying like.
But he was saying, hey, even if people don't like this game, it's better than nothing.
No, I'm saying, this looks fucking beautiful. I don't care.
I've installed one of the ship's reserve power cells here. It's holding so far, but too much activity could knock it offline. I hope we don't come to that.
Just imagine if the Wii U emulator gets perfected enough, right? And you can run
Oh damn! Those were just destroyed by a variety of different trooper weapons.
Wow. But imagine if the Wii U emulator gets perfected enough, and you could
Insert the morph ball into the slot and detonate a bomb. This will send energy from the shot to the device connected to it. So remember how you can do this in Metroid Prime 1?
Yes.
Well, watch what you're gonna see. Shit.
Just imagine if you can get the Wii U emulator and run, what do you call it? Well, you could run Breath of the Wild in 4K, but imagine running fucking,
Yeah, if you want to play the game like a potato, you can run it in 4K if you emulate it.
What do you mean a potato?
Because it runs like shit, you said. If it runs, it looks great in 4K, but you said it runs terribly.
It would, because more people don't have the fucking thing for that, and the emulator's not, optimized enough for it.
Oh, these guys basically just turned into zombies.
But just imagine, like, Wind Waker HD, but in like, Super HD.
Wind Waker Super HD.
No, Wind Waker Ultra HD, because 4K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dark Trooper deceased.